What's up guys, this is Mdot, and welcome back to another Haikyu Fly High video. Going back to back today, I do want to get this video out where I go over basically the strategy I use in Infinite Trial. As you can see, my highest power that I hit here for the last Infinite Trial is 60 million, which is the highest. But for other trials as well, I've been hitting, within the top 10, 15 for most of them, and all following the same strategy. So I kind of wanted to go over how I set up my team and the setup for the cards and everything like that, and hopefully you can take something away from this that will help you score higher. And yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first things first, I just want to go over and talk about the main or key players that you need in order for the strat to work. So the main one is Aran. So he's going to be your main damage dealer, and the whole idea of the strategy is for him to basically ultimate every single turn, and everyone around, all your other teammates are just there to boost his score, right? So when he ults, you want him to also crit so that he does more damage as well. So you need to find some crit enablers. In that case, there are setters such as Oikawa, who's able to give attack tempo and awareness, right, whenever he serves. You also have Akaashi, who is if you build him on awareness, he will automatically make your spikers crit when he crits. So he's also a good setter to use. And also another one is Kageyama. He's not as consistent, but he's able to give awareness. So that's another option if you don't have these two. But on the other hand, everyone else here is again just for power boosting. I have Kita on the bench. Ideally, you want him at SR4 as well. Kita is not as important in Infinite Trial compared to like Club Contest, just because Kita's main value is the stamina regen, but you're able to regen stamina through cards in the Infinite Trial anyway, so you don't really need him, but he does provide debuffs in terms of attack technique and stuff like that to your front row. So that's why I still have him. Another one is Daichi. So Daichi, specifically his memory, I will go over that real quickly. So Daichi's memory, if you look at it here, it says increases the equipper's receive stat by 10%. On the court, your size power type players receive 1 stack of grit for every 20 stamina consumed. Each stack increases power spike power by 2% of the power attack stat, up to 10 stacks. And obviously, if you have multiple of these and you dupe it up, it gets even higher. So the main reason why you want that is because he is able to give power to Aran whenever he consumes stamina, and Aran consumes stamina every single spike, right? So his, I believe it's this one. And when performing a power spike, consumes 60% stamina to increase spike power by 50% as power attack stat. We're just doing more damage by consuming stamina. He regains it as well, using his first skill, where each at the end of the turn consumes all stacks of his second wind stacks buff or whatever it is, and it restores 4 stamina. So he does get his stamina back, and again, you will be gaining stamina through cards and stuff like that in Infinite Trial. The main reason why you want him in SR4 is, again, in this case, up to 2 times per turn, when a player on your side recovers stamina, Aran's on the court, Aran recovers 8 stamina, so he gains more stamina here. And he also increases, at SR2, he increases attack technique even more. So he's going to be your main damage dealer, so you want him duped up as much as possible. Okay. In terms of potential, I have him on 4-piece status enhancement and 2-piece power vibe. This can be a 2-piece power rise or power vibe, doesn't really matter, because of the increase of power attack stat by 15%. The main thing you want here is ideally strength in slot 2. This can be power attack. You'll still do a lot of damage, but I do think strength does more damage, especially if you're able to guarantee his crits, right? So strength there. And then we have attack technique on slot 6. Again, this could be power attack, but I do think attack technique will increase his spike's power even more. The main reason why you want him on 4-piece status enhancement, as you can see, the 4-piece buff here is when stamina is below 70 points, increases awareness by 10%. When recovering stamina, increases strength by 10% up to 3 stacks. So, because Aran's going to be fluctuating his stamina a lot, he's going to consume 60% stamina, gain most of it back. He's going to be over 70 points again, or whatever it is. He'll get his strength up to 30% every time he does that, and that just increases his damage even further. So next up, I mentioned Kira as one of the main ones. I don't think he's as important, like I said before, in Infinite Trial, more so in club contests. So if you don't have him, that's fine. I do think if you need to work on duping someone up, it would be Aran. But the main reason why people have him at SR4 is whenever a teammate casts an ultimate skill, they recover 10 stamina. And also, which is also nice, is whenever he receives without conceding a point, it increases his the team morale by 10. So that's nice to have. In terms of his skills, like I mentioned before, discipline execution. When he has 3 reliable action counts, he consumes the 3 of them to increase your front row players' attack technique by 10%, and that's free cross. So that just gives more power to Aran spikes. And we also went over Daichi's memory, but I do want to highlight Daichi's skill, which is his ultimate. So if your next side spike is a power spike and he receives, increases that spike's power by 15% of the spiker's power stat. So this is nice, again, nice to have. It's not mandatory. If you don't have Daichi, that's fine. Daichi's memory is what really enables the scoring, or like the high scores, because of the amount of power attack that he gives to Aran. And next up, to mention the Libero. Obviously Komori would be the best Libero to use just because he has all the buffs in his kit. He would give, attack technique, increases spikers awareness, stuff like that. So he's really good especially for this, because he is the best Libero we have anyways. But if you don't have him, I guess you got to make do with what you have. So whatever Libero you have, and I guess the most duped up, will probably work still. The main thing is this memory really helps a lot. Not this one, this one here. This is Watari's memory. When equippers receive result is not bad, increase your next power spike or quick spike power by 44% of these spikers and corresponding power attack of attack stat. This is at the 5 dupe. Obviously it's gonna be less at the first dupe, which is 22%. So this really does, especially when your Libero receives, is help boost the spike power of your spiker, which is Aran. So just to go over the setters real quickly here, I mentioned before that Oikawa is the one that you can see that everybody uses, or most people use, especially if they have them skill res, a skill res 4. Increases awareness by 15% and strength by 15% for players on your side, lasting 3 net crossings whenever he serves. Right? So you're gonna have him serving, you're gonna increase your strength and awareness, which is even more, again, more strength boost, more power, right? And then he's able to reset the cooldown. That doesn't really matter that much, but that's the main reason why people have him SR4 there. Otherwise, he still gains attack tempo, which will increase your side's awareness by 1% up to 10 stacks, and he's also able to guarantee a critical spike as well. So if he has 6 attack tempo stacks, he's able to guarantee a critical spike, which is what you need when you're using Aran. Now, if you don't have Oikawa, especially at SR4, the next best thing, which is also what I'm using, is Akaashi. So I have Akaashi max res, but you don't really need a max res. He does get a little bit extra power attack. He's able to increase your player's power attack stat whenever he sets them by 4%, but it's not too big of a buff. The main thing that is great about him is his skill 3 here. It says when Akaashi performs a critical set, your side's next spike is guaranteed to be critical. So he's able to make Aran crit. just by sending to him if he crits. He also gets this as well. Increases Akaashi awareness by 12% here when the teammate lands a perfect block or receive, right? So you get more awareness of here as well. And I think he also gets awareness somewhere else. Whenever he gets 2.3% awareness here, which is 1.2% at level 1 whenever you go into the Morale Awakening. So he gains a lot of awareness, which is good because you do want him to crit. So that's why when I'm running him on the potentials, like I haven't really increased anything or leveled anything up other than this one, because this is where you get most of your awareness. As you can see though, I am running the 4-piece setter dump just because it increases his awareness by 10% right here. Okay, so you get extra awareness there, and then I'm running 2 of the awareness enhancement, so it increases awareness stat by 7.5%. The reason why I wouldn't run the 4-piece awareness stat is even though it does give you 30% here in total, it reduces the awareness by 10% every time you do a critical play. And at some point, if you're going to keep doing critical sets, you might end up going to 0. So I don't want to risk that, and that's why I'm just running the 7.5 here. And the next thing for the setter, if you do have this memory, it's very, very good as well. As you can see, when equipment performs a critical set, which again Akaashi can do because he has a high awareness. Same thing with Oikawa. Increases strength of your side spikers by 32% when they perform power spikes. That's it for one-net crossing. So every time you crit, your next power spike will be stronger by 32. Increases strength, of your power spiker by 32%, so it'll be stronger. And again, with Akaashi, if he crits, your spikers crit, and there's a correlation here. So this memory is really, really good in terms of infinite trial. Otherwise, if you have like Oikawa and his memory, that should be fine as well, because you're gonna have him serving for the most part if you have him in, and then he gives more awareness, so you can give more awareness to your spikers, as well as you get some strength here as well. So it's not too bad, but I would go for, you have the resources, I would go for this Rabu memory here. All right, now we're gonna go over the tactics. I keep calling them cards, I don't know what they're called, but yeah, they're called tactics. I'll show you some of the best ones to use, especially for the strategy. And then you can kind of work towards getting these ones and leveling them up, or getting higher rarities of those ones, especially if you're trying to use this strategy. So one of the main things you'll need is training supply. So training supply, this one, at the end of each round, your players recover stamina, like I said, so your players won't get tired throughout the set. You can keep them on the whole time. This is really good. It doesn't have to be at gold, but obviously getting gold is better because you get increases basic stats of deployed players by 430, right? The higher it is, the better stats you get, right? So training supply, number 1. Another one for Aran is this one, warm-up exercise. At the end of each round, your players with 80 or more stamina lose 10 stamina and gain 10% basic stats. That can put 5 times. So you get 50% increase in basic stats just from this memory alone. They're going to be losing, 10 stamina, but again, you're going to be getting it back anyways here using the training supply, so this doesn't matter. And this, again, it helps Aran. He's going to be fluctuating stamina anyway, so this is really good. Fierce Offense is just overall just a good card or tactic to use, just because an infinite trial, increase your size power by 40%. Straight up 40% increase in your power. So you don't need to worry about, fulfilling a condition or anything like that. Fierce Offense is really good. This one here, Complete Attack, is really good, especially if you're critting, right? So it says increases your player's strength by 50%. When your player touches the ball without performing a critical play, increases that player's awareness by 5%, again 5 times. So we get to that point where, like with Akaashi, if he does miss a crit, he'll be gaining awareness anyways. So of the next time he sets, he will crit on that next set. But the main thing here is increasing the strength by 50%, which will allow Aran to score even higher, right? The last two here that I have is team chemistry. So the strategy that I use, and I see that a lot of top players use, is actually starting with a school bond. Ideally, it is the Aoba Josai school bond, but Karasuno is also pretty good as well, just because they both buff your power spikes. But you can see on your side, activate school bonds, increase your player's basic stats by 50%. So if you have a bond at the beginning of the match, this will activate, and then you have your basic stats by 50%. Last one here is Quick Attack Mastery. This actually is different depending on the team that you're facing and which trial you're doing. So the reason why you want this is because it increases your side's quick attack tag count by 2, and then you get increases special count effects by 20%, which is a pretty big increase. What it means by quick attack tag count is the number of quick attack type players on your team. As you can see in this one, I only have 2 quick attack type players, but having that card or tactic will allow me to get +2, so now I'm at 4. So I'm able to enable the quick attack team type, right? And which will counter the opponent. And when I'm countering the opponent, while the opponent has a block specialty, your player's action power increases by 15% during matches. So again, an extra 15% increase from all my actions, right? And as you can see in my team, I'm running that Aoba Josai bond, right? I have Oikawa, Daichi, Matsukawa, and Iwaizumi here, right? And then basically after that first point, I will be swapping them out with the bench. Well, Daichi is going to be Komori's coming in here for Daichi, so he doesn't need to be swapped out. But I do have Daichi to come in, and then I'm going to have Kita serving, and you have Aran coming in for Tanaka here, and then you have Akaashi coming in here for Iwaizumi. So this is Hirogami. Hirogami is used mostly for this right here. Increase your next spike power by 20%. The spiker's power starts quick attack stat for 2 net crossings, as well as at the end of each turn, the stacks are consumed and you gain extra attack technique. That's the main reason why people use Hirogami. If you don't have Hirogami, another good middle blocker to use is actually Hinata, and you have him in the back row instead. And in that case, he does give, I believe it's this one. Each time he, no, not this one. This one. When he receives, after this, all players on your side gain 12% basic stats for 6 net crossing. So you do get extra basic stats here, and it lasts pretty long. So he has a really good support kit as well. And going back to the tactic, the quick attack mastery, this again can be swapped out for reception mastery, block mastery, or even the attack mastery. I believe it's spike mastery, sorry. Spike mastery. This one is for power attack, right? And then you have obviously block mastery for block. You have reception mastery for receive. And again, depending on what team you're facing, you want to equip that tactic. So in this case, I equipped this block mastery tactic, and I now counter this power team. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go through one of the infinite trials, one that I scored kind of low on, compared to my other ones. On this one, I'm number 13th. I scored 29 million. We'll go through one run to see if we can up the score, and again, you'll see how the strategy works. All right, so I set up my team. We are facing a receive team. So I have a power lineup specialty that's countering it. So I actually, I'm not using spike mastery because I'm able to fulfill the team bond without using it. So instead, I'm actually using opening tempo. Opening tempo, it increases your player's awareness by 80% when performing offensive touches, such as serve, set, or spike, which again is really what we need in order to make sure that everybody crits, right? You want your Aran to crit, you want your setter to crit as well. So As you can see, I still have the Aoba Josai team bond, right? I have Tanaka here starting just because his SR4, when he scores with his ultimate, players on your side gain plus 40% power attack stat. It can be triggered one time per set and basically last the whole set, so the whole infinite trial. And then I'm gonna have Aran come in over that once I score with him. Okay, so we're in a game, and I'm gonna play this one manually for the most part, just so I can show you that we can choose where to serve to. For example, you want to get bad serves as much as possible, so they can get perfect receives like that. Because of perfect, I'm gonna go for a block with Hero. Now that we're here, I'm going to send it over to a Tanaka because of his SR4. Hopefully he scores here. Okay, perfect. Now that our first point is done, I'm subbing everybody in. So I want, basically, for me, I want Kita to serve just because he does have a float serve, which will allow me to get bad serves. If I do put Daichi in that position, he doesn't have a float serve or jump serve, so he has no option to get a bad serve. So I'm putting him here. I am putting Daichi over here on this side, so I have Kita to receive, I have Daichi to receive, I have Komori to receive. And obviously we're going to have Aran over here over Tanaka, and then I'm throwing my actual center in Akaashi here. So in your case, if you do have Oikawa, you can leave him here. You can keep Daichi in the back, or you can keep Kita in the back, whoever works better for you. And then put the other one up front in the other position. It's still fine. Again, because Daichi's both of their skills and the memory, and the reason why you have them on this team is basically just for their specific power boost, right? And they don't need to be in the back to do so. Okay. So now we're just going to try to ride it out and let it. Hopefully we don't get a lot of block kills or service aces. Let's go here. Okay. I'm also going to, again, block with the lowest blocker, just so that I can go over. And then all you gotta do is just spam Aran. Let's enable Team Morale Awakening here. Again, I'm gonna go to the lowest blocker. There you go. You can use Aran again. And again, now we're getting all these crits, we're able to get high scores. So this is going to be basically the whole strategy, just feeding it to Aran. But it really is just all the setup that goes into it that you need to kind of pay attention to and work on in order to get these scores and make these scores possible. So if you're able to get bad sets and bad serves and spikes like that, that's even better because you keep the rally going. You can do another spike on the next turn here. There you go. So you probably won't be seeing scores that high unless you really wail out and dupe your Aran, and then you have deep memories and everything like that. But you're able to at least kind of work towards those numbers. Following this strategy. Hopefully you can work to get this strategy going. It might help you out in future things such as club contest or even specialty trial. When you get to the hell difficulty, it's going to be the same strategy as well. So now we're like just about halfway, just over halfway, and I'm already close to my previous record. It really is the gold cards. So if you're able to get those gold cards, they really do help in pushing scores because of the basic stats increase. Yeah, if you get some block kills, that's fine. I think if you get multiple block kills in a row, then it gets you it's debatable if you want to restart. But I'm this far in, I don't think I will. We'll see how far we can get with what we have going so far. Okay, so we did get higher than before. We're at 34 million here, and as you saw, I did get a lot of block kills. So if the RNG were good to me, I might have been able to get even higher. So if I wanted to, I can again use a strategy, try again. It really is a lot of trial and error and restarting if you see things go wrong. So don't be afraid to do so if you do have that time. It really depends on how much time and effort you do want to put in chasing these scores, right? But yeah, hopefully this video helped. I tried to explain the Aran strat as much as possible, and hopefully, you know, I explained which cards were, you know, the best ones to use. But yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. If you found this one useful, please like this video, subscribe for more content, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one then. Peace.